Hello and welcome. Good to see you all today. I mean, not that there's anyone here watching right now, but if there was, I would say welcome and hello. Yeah, should be interesting. We've got some stuff to go over today. I'm gonna quickly just touch on the Nurgle roster first, then we'll get to some fun King of the Hill battles. So yeah, looks like there's literally like one person watching right now. So thank you for being here, that one person, whoever you are. And let's get started with the Nurgle roster. I'm trying to host King of the Hill, but we'll see. May not be actually any participants today, but yeah. Anyway, let's switch on over to this and just take a look here. Wanted to quickly talk about the Nurgle roster. A lot of this stuff we've seen already, and I'm not going to take too long to go over everything in depth, just because I'm going to wait for them to release some of the like stats and so forth. But just to sort of go over things here, starting with the big bad boys, Kugath the Plague Father. Yes, Nurgle's legendary lord, the greatest of great unclean ones. He rides on this big palanquin, lofted about by legions of Nurglings. Looks absolutely amazing. He has Lore of Nurgle and expert spellcaster, powerful demonic summoner, so definitely going to have some strong summons, which is always a good time. Yeah, he's a big, smelly boy. Not a lot else to say. We've also got the other lord choices, Heralds of Nurgle. This is like the top tier of Plague Bearer, right? Again, Lore of Nurgle, or can take Lore of Death as well. They can take the Palanquin or a Rotfly mount. So this Palanquin, I'm guessing, is the same one that the big boy's riding on. Maybe a little smaller, but the Rotfly we'll see here in just a second. Exalted Great Unclean One. This is the one in the trailer and in the screenshot there, I think, that has the big like thing on its hand. But again, Lord level, Great Unclean One, Greater Demon. They are jolly big boys, even though they look absolutely disgusting. Again, Lore of Nurgle, Lore of Death. The Cultist of Nergal looks like he's seen better days, but absolutely disgusting. He's going to be not a spellcaster as with the Tzeentch Cultist. Instead, he's going to be probably like a support melee specialist. Doesn't really say too much about his abilities here. He'll be quite strong on the campaign map. In terms of multiplayer and battle, might not be the strongest character in the world, but he's here as an option. Plague Ridden is the hero level Plague Bearer, right? Again, we've got access to Lore of Death, Lore of Nurgle, the Palanquin or Rotflies as mounts. Yeah, thanks. Mustard Tiger, appreciate that. Much appreciated. Maybe there would be more people here if I actually planned this a little bit ahead of time and announced it ahead of time, but there you go. Nurgle Infantry, you've got Nurglings. This is super interesting how they've been implemented. I guess some of the things that we saw, like the Nurgling, like Transformer-looking thing, is actually just Nurglings in an attack animation, it looks like, from what I've seen. But yeah, just because there's no, like, Nurgling Transformer on this roster, but the fact they've implemented Nurgles it's absolutely amazing. I'm super excited to see them in battle. They look like a barrel of fun. It's worth saying everything on Nurgle's roster obviously has poison attacks and, or sorry, not everything except the Forsaken and the Spawn, poison attacks and Cloud of Flies. Cloud of Flies is currently implemented in the game. I think it's only like a -5 melee attack. AoE aura. Now, though, will increase melee defense of a unit if they're in extended melee combat. So rather than debuffing your opponent's melee attack, it looks like it may buff your own melee defense, which essentially accomplishes the same thing, but will be interesting to see how that works in battle. It says if they're in extended melee combat, so it seems like they would need to be fighting in melee for quite some time. Hey, Emperor, thanks. Appreciate that. What's up, Coops? Hey, it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, it'll definitely, the VOD will be up after the fact, so you can always watch that. Nurglings have Vanguard as well. Absolute champs. Love it. Plague Bearers are going to be pretty slow, but they also have butts, which is amazing. Yeah, they lack armor and skill. They make up for pure strength and health, so they're going to be slow, but exceptionally meaty boys. In general, Nurgle armies are slow. they say, but they actually, when you look at it, have quite a few faster attack units. Forsaken are obviously Forsaken. They are pretty quick, have lower HP, but deal a lot of damage. You know, typical Forsaken. They don't really say anything, like, they said up there that they actually don't have poison attacks in Cloud of Flies, even though, like, the ROR, what are they? I forget, the Flag Spawn or whatever they're called for the Warriors of Chaos, the ROR Forsaken actually do have Cloud of Flies and poison attacks, so I guess we'll see if they have any significant differences over the base version. Yeah, it doesn't really say a lot here. Hey, what's up, Alex? Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Yeah, they are like the vampire counts to a degree, I think. But with, yeah, a tiny bit of range, as we'll see. Exalted Plague Bears. So this is, you know, upper level Plague Bears. They have a precursor weapon where they throw some armor-piercing, like, dead people's heads, it looks like. But, you know, a little bit of upper tier demon infantry. You've got Furies, so it does look like Nurgle will get access to Furies. Again, another flying kind of fast attack unit. They get poison attacks over the regular, you know, over the other variants of Furies, which means, again, they'll be pretty good for tying stuff down, especially, you know, from a speed perspective. They can support Nurgling since both of them have Vanguard, which is just awesome. And that's basically it. A lot of, you know, infantry. Well, not it for the entire roster. I guess we're already into the monsters, right? So let's keep going with that. Beast of Nurgle, going to be a single entity. Big, ugly boy. Just ridiculous looking, to be honest. Like some kind of demonic Jabba the Hutt. So regenerating flesh obviously will be quite tanky, oozing slime in all directions. It slows them down, so it'll have some kind of a slowing aura. And according to James Martin, the game designer, it is a happy chappies. Love to see that. Well, probably within the next week, I would guess, Emperor. We'll see, but like the Enter World of, I would imagine we'll probably see that the next week or so. Plague Toads. So the Plague Toads, I thought might be a single entity monster, but it looks like they're actually cavalry slash monster. Like they have just the monstrous beast, like herd type unit, right? You take the role of light cavalry or powerful war beasts. So again, something like the flesh hounds or whatever. They're not as fast, but they have really good mass, and they're relatively cheap. Rot flies are the flying boys that we've seen. Obviously big old flies, fast, armor-piercing, flying unit. Again, even though on paper Nurgle's pretty slow, it does seem like they have some pretty decent fast attack units, and especially like if you go with quite a bit of Vanguard and then some fast attack units, I do think you'll be able to pull off a surprising amount of speed with Nurgle, but we'll see. Yeah, Pox Riders. So Plague Bears can ride the Rot Flies, and they come in a couple of variants. Hang on, I'm thinking of Plague Drones. Okay, so the Pox Riders... Oh, no. These are the Plague Toad Riders, that's right. I was gonna say, there's something rides the Plague Toads. These are the ones. So again, just Plague Toad Cavalry. That's great. Spawn of Nurgle. It does look like they actually have more unique models than other spawns, which is awesome. I mean, it's very appropriate. Nurgle is... Yeah, it would have been nice to see more unique models of Spawn, but I guess they only had time to really do the Nurgle ones. But that's great. Another unique looking unit, at the very least. Nurgle Spawn do have regeneration and poison attacks, so they're probably going to be one of the best variants of Spawn, if I had to guess, because of that regeneration. High health. They'll probably not hit as hard, nearly as hard as some of the others. They may even have lower weapon strength than the Beastmen. We'll have to wait and see, but looks pretty good. Plague Drones, again, these are the dudes riding the Rot Flies. They have just the regular ones and the Death's Heads, so again, a little bit of a limited ranged attack. Rot Flies, flying, ranged cavalry, generally pretty strong. They're also, I mean, they're not pure range, they're more of a melee unit with like sort of a precursor weapon, but should be very strong. Again, tactically very useful for Nurgle. Great Unclean One is the Greater Demon unit level. It's pretty straightforward. Big smashy boy with a lot of HP. Very tough to kill. Has access to some spells. giant armor-piercing strikes. Probably has huge splash attacks. Yeah, can attack doors and gates, probably. Soul Grinder, again, we see a unique model for the Nurgle Soul Grinder, which looks absolutely amazing. Another potential ranged. Vomit poisonous gobs of material, so that's great at artillery ranges. So again, you do have some long range pressure, and then that's it. So pretty straightforward. I mean, again, somewhat small as what we've seen with some of the other demon rosters, but certainly with enough sort of tactical flexibility to make the army functional, at least at the base version. I was hoping we would see some more Warriors of Chaos units, but I guess that's something further on down the road. The Warriors of Chaos models that are associated with Nurgle from the tabletop that I've seen are pretty unique, so yeah. Good stuff. Hey, thanks. Much appreciated, CJ. So we're going to get started here in just a moment. It looks like... we still don't have one of the competitors, even though... let me see here. Yeah, thought with doing a quick review of the Nurgle roster, we'd have everyone ready, but I don't know. It looks like Ethereon might have gone AFK or something happened, so we'll try and get a competitor in here and get some battles queued up as soon as possible. Apologies about that, guys, but that's all right. Some music going here as well. Come on, here we go. Hey, thanks, Russian dude. Much appreciated. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be casting that soon, Emperor. I had thought about actually doing a replay stream today. So at this point, if anyone wants to jump in, just feel free to. So, yeah. Yeah, we just need someone to play at this point. So if anyone wants to jump in, yeah. Yeah, Emperor, if you want to jump in, we just need to see... Yeah, we just need to get literally anyone in here. So, and I could jump in and play, but I was hoping to just get some casting in. Again, whoever wants to jump in, password's 123. So just come on in. You feel like you're available and you want to face Ice Power here, we got to get something going, so... We'll see, Coops. I probably actually will still be going. I was planning on going. It's about 9:30 right now. I will probably be going for about 2.5, 3 hours. So pop on when you get back, and we'll see. We could have you probably jump on for at least one game. Okay. Oh, that's all good. I totally understand. Got bears in here. Yeah, so at this point, we'll, let's just say, screw the order of the list. Whoever wants to jump in at any time. I probably should actually have the scoreboard up as well. Let me put that here. Okay, current, we've got Storm Runner is going to be fighting later. Okay. There we go. Now we got the scoreboard up. Yes, indeed. Oh no! What happened? Let's get back in there. Okay, we're good. For whatever reason, decided to kick me from the lobby. Oh, yeah, sorry about that, Goops. I ended up being a little bit busy with work and some family stuff yesterday, but tomorrow I'll have time. Definitely in the afternoon. Okay, so I've decided that I'm gonna choose the lords for today. Let's get this going. And for those of you guys who don't know, since it's my birthday, I've decided I'm gonna choose the lords for these guys. So, yes, send them some secret PMs on Discord to choose their lords. So you guys will see in just a minute who we've elected to take. That's all good, Emperor. We'll get you in. We'll be here plenty of times today. Don't worry about that. We'll get everyone in. Falcon's even on the list today. So, real human being, what's up? Welcome. Okay, so we got this. Oops. Okay, there we go. Cool. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. It's been a good one. I must say, personal life-wise, this has been one of the best years of my life. In terms of my channel, it's been arguably one of the worst. In many aspects, there's been a lot of positive things, but just growth has been a little bit slower than what I anticipated, and the game 3 didn't get released yet, so there's some ups and downs. But in general, I would say a lot of positives. You know, doing the intros, something we started this year. What else? Yeah, a lot of fun. Just fun videos in general. Got to play a little bit of Kids Live. A lot of patrons too, a lot of patron growth, so that's something to be thankful for. Even if my subscriber growth on YouTube wasn't exactly what I would have wanted, I was hoping for maybe a little bit more. I'm still growing, so I can't argue too much about that. And yeah, the growth on Patreon has been amazing, so thank you all so much, those of you guys who have participated there. And for those of you guys who just watch my videos, like them, share them, all that, I really appreciate it. Yes, Ethereum, I can still get you in, no worries. Let me actually... Okay, we'll actually put up an order now that it seems like everyone is present. Yeah, a lot of new patrons. Yep. So that's this is secret scheming. So I'm sending them a Lord picks that they have to use, right? So Ice Power's army's slightly visible here, but mostly being blocked by the chat window. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of positives to look for, even in a year where, you know, again, we didn't get Game 3 like we wanted. There was only 2 Warhammer DLC, right? Throughout the whole year. There was the Beastmen. There was Wood Elves and Beastmen, right? Those are the only 2, so... Because Wood Elves was, like, at the early part of the year. And then... yeah, Beastmen versus Lizardmen. So it's been a little bit rough on the Warhammer front, but lots of good this next year coming. I mean, we already know the news cycle's been ramping up and up. Tons to talk about. We literally just talked about Nurgle Roster, so there's so much to look forward to. A lot of promise in store. And I have to say, I was hoping that we would have Game 3 out for a lot of different reasons by my birthday. Number one, just, you know, purely selfishly so that I could play it, or at the very least I could have an early access build by my birthday. But that's okay. I understand circumstances are what they are. I do appreciate Creative Assembly giving me access to the footage that they did. That has been doing pretty well on my channel lately. And the reason being, you know, financially from this perspective of in the holiday season, you know, like starting maybe late October up to, like, you know, end of December, the YouTube revenue ramps up significantly because advertisers are spending a lot more for the holiday season. The bids for the ads go up, and you make a lot more in ad revenue during that time. So, you know, purely selfishly, from a financial perspective, I was hoping we'd have Game 3 out for this holiday season. I could make some extra cash. Not that I really need it, but, you know, it's always nice. But at the very least, the little bit of Game 3 coverage have been able to do has benefited, and I have some other stuff planned for the next couple weeks. Lot of good Warhammer 2 battles upcoming. I've got a DLC guide that I have been planning for quite some time. I just need to actually hammer it out, which I should be doing over the next week or so. And then, yeah, we will go on from there. Let's go over the builds, though. Yeah, it has been a little bit of a slow year, not even just for Total War and Warhammer, but just in general in gaming. I feel like it's been kind of a slow year. A lot of, like, even in this holiday release window, it's been a lot of hit and miss. A lot of games with serious issues. A lot of games have been delayed. Anyway, so the designated Lord choice is the Dreadlord Sword and Crossbow, which is a lot of fun. We've got the Raven's Herald, so Ice Power definitely getting into the spirit of things with the flying crossbows. He's got double Hydra, or sorry, a Chili Boy and a Charybdis. So the fish Hydra and the Cold Hydra. You got a Sorceress Lord Beast, Dread Spears, Dark Riders, Cairns of Cain, 1 Manticore, tasteful. Some sad swords up front for the Lizardmen. Tic-Tac-Toe is the mandated lord with a Quaddle, so that should be a nice flying force. Got a Skink Priest Lord Beast, Red Crest, Sora Spears on the ground, some Stalkers taking the hilltop. Relatively small Lizardmen army. Ooh, what's this? Geltbloom's Terror! Oh man, the Regiment of Renown. Carnosaur has Vanguard deployment and Strider and can hide in the woods, so it's now currently over here ready to ambush in with these Stalkers. Yeah, it's true. It is releasing in February when ad revenue starts to pick back up a little bit, but I think it'll be able to just brute force through the lower ad revenue in the early part of the year, which is fine. I mean, yeah. We should get some more news to cover, hopefully, within the next month or so as well. I mean, we're going to be getting, like, the Nurgle roster available today. We'll be getting the Slaanesh roster at some point soon, I'd imagine. Some more trailers to peruse, some more mechanics. I'm hoping they talk about diplomacy, too. I kind of have a theory. Again, full tinfoil hat, no insider information. But I have a theory that the They're going to talk about diplomacy when they talk about Slaanesh, because Slaanesh is the only demon faction that can interact like diplomatically with most factions. It would make sense for them to talk about diplomacy improvements when talking about Slaanesh, so we'll see. But Tic-Tac-Toe comes in here. He's going to take a couple of volleys. Oh man, my camera is freaking out right now. I don't know what is going on. They really need to just remove that double-click, like, jump back feature. I don't know anyone who's ever used that. But anyway, Quaddle's going to get in here. It's going to have actually a pretty rough time. The Feral Manticore and the Heralds of Nurgle in particular, I mean, 44 weapon strength, they've got 48 defense. The Quaddle, only 40 attack, really can't hit them almost at all, and they are going to be able to regenerate. So we've got a Feral Manticore being pulled up. There's no Feral Manticore for the Lizardmen, though. They went with just the debuff instead, which is going to be decent, but... Oh, what's this? Quaddle using up its Chain Lightning before it goes down, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to do much. Geltbloom's Terror's coming in, though. Going to try and get in here and go after the Charybdis. Charybdis does have more HP, so that may not be the best fight in the world for Geltbloom's Terror, but we'll see. Unfortunately, Carnosaurs are just really not very good because of their low HP. But Sora Spear is certainly pretty solid. They're getting in here, trying to do their best. Dreadlord Sword and Crossbow firing away, but yeah, the screen of the Stalkers could have thinned out the Karens of Cain a little bit earlier, but a little bit late to the party. They eventually do get there, and the Terror kicks in and even terrifies away the Karens, and that's fine. Geltbloom's Terror is going to have to pull away there. Does not want to fight the Charybdis in a pitched combat. Just let those Stalkers deal with some of the supporting units. Turn back around, come back, and get at it once you have more favorable engagement. But things are looking okay for Lizardman. Definitely not ideal, but where's Tic-Tac-Toe? He is hiding over there in the distance. I say hiding. He's actually caught the Raven's Heralds and is starting to kill them pretty effectively. So that is nice to see. The Skink Priest going after the Dreadlord Sword and Crossbow with Curse of Onrare active, getting real brave with it. But yeah, even still, the Dreadlord still has pretty decent stats, especially with Murderous Prowess active, up to 75 melee attack, 81 charge bonus, 400 weapon strength, plus the ranged attacks. Actually, probably one of the most underrated generic lords in the entire game, you could say. But Charybdis also just administering absolute beatdown to Geltbloom's Terror there. Definitely a commanding position for the Dark Elves, but let's see. Tic-Tac-Toe still flying around, getting after those Raven's Heralds way out there in the distance. The Red Crests actually not even doing great necessarily against the Dread Spears here. Man, my camera. I guess I need to like get this middle mouse button looked at to see maybe it's having some issues. There, I didn't even do that. See, that's just... And I wish they would just remove that. Anyway, oh, a brutal side-shotting breath just destroys an entire unit of Sora Spears there. Excellent use of the Chili Boy. Chili Boy is now going to come in and provide that Frostbite to the Geltbloom's Terror. Just make sure it cannot escape. Got the Chameleons coming back, trying to do their thing. One unit of Sora Spears here, if he can somehow protect from the breast, might be able to do something, but at this point things are just looking really scary for the Lizardmen. They're sort of teetering, and it looks like army losses is going to take hold. There it goes. Yeah, Quaddle just got wrecked there. Marauder Chieftain's better. I don't know. Marauder Chieftain doesn't have a ranged attack. If the Marauder Chieftain had a Javelin and was a ranged lord, had an anti-large ranged attack, that would actually make him ridiculously good, but anyway. Yeah, great job, Ice Power. Manages to take home a win with the Chili Boy, even though the Manticore ends up carrying a lot of value against the Charybdis. 1,000 value on the Dreadlord, too. He's free to just sit and shoot. Yeah, a little bit small. The Geltbloom's Terror is a fun pick. The Vanguard, in theory, is nice, but it's so squishy. Really tough to use in practice. But it looks like Falcon got in. Change map to... yeah, we'll get Falcon, then Emperor, you can get the next one. Right? Javelin Man should be in the game. I have a whole Let me see. I did a script about my top 5 wishes for Norska, and again, this is another video idea of something that I want to be doing, is doing my top 5 wishes, because I did that before for Greenskins and for Beastmen. And I need to go through and do it now for Norska, for Bretonia. Yeah, those are the main two that I want to focus on next, because I think those are the two that are in most of an overhaul. Warriors of Chaos, I'm not really probably going to talk about in that sort of same context, because I'm not really sure what to even do there, but double Troglodon would be great. Would be fantastic. Yeah, how good would it be though to have like a marauder? So we need a marauder melee character of some kind, right? For Norska, like a champ, or I was even thinking like a master hunter, right? And again, it would be like a range character. The javelin could maybe even take a chariot as a mount and still have the javelin ranged attack. Maybe you also have them have the ability to take a mammoth, just for kicks and giggles. I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe a different mount type? Maybe a manticore, or I don't know. There's a few different things you could do, I guess, but yeah, like a marauder beast hunter, right? Hero. Would just be interesting. Give them some kind of new hero type, because like the ogres have a master hunter, right? I saw on their roster. So, okay, check chat. Let's see. Blood Pine Woods is... Yeah, I forgot you're still host Ice Power. Blood Pine Woods is the map. Yeah, oh, for sure, for a Lord level, we need a caster, whether that's I think you could make the argument that you need both a Marauder Great Shaman or whatever, and also a Famir Matriarch or some kind of Famir Lord that would probably also be a caster. There's an argument to be made for both, and I think probably both should be implemented. In terms of heroes, though, like new heroes, I really think you need some type of a Marauder. So, again, you think of like for the Beastmen, they had Gorble, but they needed the Wargore, right? So if you were to, instead of just having it be like a generic captain melee type hero, you have it actually be the assassin archetype. So it would be assassinating people on campaign, and then also, you know, be a ranged / kind of melee hybrid hero in battle. That would be sort of my view on hero. You know, you could always add more too, but it's like the lords and the heroes would be the main kind of focus of that. Oh yeah, Ice Power Army reveal. I mean, they're probably in chat together, so I'm not really too worried about it. But I guess we could do this. Yes. Just to make you feel better. Because who doesn't want to see Dance Morzak, to be honest? SFO Marauder Chieftain has javelins. I mean, it would make him a lot more unique when compared to Wulfric, like, better than just a crappy generic version of Wulfric. Yeah, I would prefer it more as a hero, to just have some kind of difference, more variety there, but something certainly. Oh, hang on. Forgot to put my phone on silent. That's on me. Thanks, Wicked. Much appreciated. I didn't have time to read your message about Turns Discord. I will have to check that. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I just noticed I went to go announce I was doing a King of the Hill today, and I was like, hang on. Where's all the servers? I think, yeah, I see now. It's in regards to the roles. That sounds right. That's what I was thinking, is like, I wonder if I have to choose a role or something somewhere. Let me go do that, actually, as we're getting these armies locked in. AoE 4, Total War Warhammer. I'll just pick all the roles. How about that? And let's see if that does anything. Oh yeah, I can see them all now. Okay, so that that's what I was thinking, is like, did I just have to choose a role? But I've got you on the list, Wicked. We'll get you going. Oh, am I supposed to mandate lords? That's right. Oh, yes, we'll do this. All the lords. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, we'll do yeah, we'll do a certain, even though I'm choosing mostly fun lords for today, I'll admit I'm going to do competitive lords on this particular battle because I want these guys, they're both really good players. I want them to just go at it fully in this particular battle. So like no holes barred, full on, competitive builds. So let's see what they have to offer. I wanted at least one game today that I could look at and be like, this is, I could point to these builds and be like, this is probably a competitive build. Nice, congratulations, Emperor. Yeah, the launcher needs improvement, let's say. Yeah, we'll be going for a few hours today. I've got some plans later on with my family, but this entire morning I had knocked out just for streaming because, I'll be honest, like, if you could give me things to do on my birthday, like, what do you want to do? 9 times out of 10, I'm going to pick streaming as one of those activities just because I enjoy it so much. Like, interacting with all of you guys, in general, doing stuff for my channel, brings me a lot of joy, but especially live streaming, getting in, interacting with all you guys, it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, XMT Civil War for sure. For sure. I should probably update the scoreboard also. We'll get highest power. Score of 1. Excellent. Yeah. How many Pistoliers? cool. Cool, cool. Well, let's see what they've got. I'm excited about this. I'm really hoping. A few things I'm excited for. Number one is it seems while we didn't get an army picker, we got what is essentially the next best thing, which is it seems like in custom battle and in multiplayer in Total War Warhammer 3, you'll be able to choose literally any sub faction. And that includes, it looks like from the screenshots I've seen, that looks like that includes non-player sub factions. Which is great. You can really customize the look and feel of your army that way. And based on those same screenshots, it seems like that all the Game 1 and Game 2 factions are included for custom battle and for multiplayer from the start, which I think would be a big win for everyone. I don't expect them to be available in any form in the campaign until the combined campaign map gets implemented, but let's see what they've got here. So yes, I told both these guys to take competitive lords because I just wanted to see a proper scrap. So you've got Grom the Paunch here, River Troll Hag, Night Goblin Shaman, some 8-peak loons, Gobos, a couple of Savage Orc Biggins. Orc Boar Chariots are in vogue right now. They're pretty good units overall. So we've got one of them, one Pump Wagon for some additional chariot numbers, a single Stone Troll, along with obligatory skirmish cavalry. Up in the air, Marathi double Manticore for Falcon. Makes sense. We've got 3 Witch Elves, 5 Dread Spears, and a bunch of repeater crossbows, some melee Dark Riders as well. The Witch Elves is an interesting choice. They are very squishy, but their DPS is pretty solid. The Madness of Cain also is really nice, minus melee defense and speed, even without the Rampage aspect. A lot of people forget, they just think about the Rampage, but this Magnus of Cain, 10% melee defense might not seem like much, but it does certainly help against Greenskins units, which already have not the best melee defense in the world. Like, you think about Savage Orc Brigands, I guess it's only going to be a -2 melee defense, right? But, I mean, it does help. Certainly does help, especially when you consider they've got 8 bonus versus infantry with 46 base attack. Their HP is just so low, and obviously lack of armor, any kind of missed block chance is a problem. But let's see. Skirmish fight gets underway here. The Greenskins trading very, very cost effectively. Dark Riders with shields definitely eating some shots, but it looks like they're going to get interrupted on the charge here by those 8-peak loons. They pull it away very quickly. Witch Elves run in here. They're going to get good engagements on these Goblins. You can see the Goblins are trying to pull back and not just necessarily eat that charge in the face, but this unit of Witch Elves getting into the 8-peak loons. That's going to be great for them. Meanwhile, the Doom Diver here is going to be teeing off on the flying units. Doom Divers are very good anti-air specifically, because the way that you can see that the projectiles kind of track in and can hit the flying units much more effectively than most other artillery types. Even small flying units like that, that Manticore gets blasted there by the Vindictive Glare and actually just drops straight into the 8-peak loons. The Greenskins Chariots also charging in. Grom putting in his support. We've got Witch Elves countercharging to try and get the Enrage procced on those chariots to keep them from being able to pull away, but it looks like Grayton is here holding their leadership. Oh no! The Boar Chariots in particular, they're going to be less good in sustained combat than these Pump Wagons, so that is a little bit unfortunate. They're not super expensive. They're getting some good value going after those Witch Elves, but yeah, both the Manticores are now involved. One Manticore having taken significant damage, the other one's doing just fine. Stone Trolls in the back, responding to some of this Dark Rider pressure that hasn't actually done all that much to this light cavalry so far. I mean, the one unit of Spider Rider is down. The Wolf Rider is now also getting hit. Wah and Murderous Prowess both active at the same time. So all these units on both sides just getting a mad power boost, just absolutely butchering each other. Yeah, if we take an overarching look here, Grom's still relatively healthy, as is this Manticore, but one Manticore has been dealt with. As long as Marathi and the one Manticore at least are still good, though, they can go... Ooh, that was a nasty Vindictive Glare. Just did like half the Manticore's HP almost in damage. Not quite, but pretty close. But the Stone Trolls have been routed here. They're going to get chased off by Dark Riders with shields. More Dark Riders moving in. The Spider Riders, Mangy Marauders, are going to try and bail out the Stone Trolls, see if they can get them back and regenerating. But this Doom Diver's just been putting in work on that Feral Manticore, even though it's not maybe the most cost-effective engagement in the world, still is enough. The other Manticores down as well. Ice Power, obviously, well familiar with this Morathi double Manticore build. It's one he's used quite a bit in the past. Wolf Riders coming in support of Grom here to try and beat down the Dark Elven Light Cavalry, free up some of that mobility. But Dark Elves still have a pretty strong presence here. A lot of Repeater Crossbows left. Moving in to finish off the Pump Wagons. Another Vindictive Glare. Probably going to try and hit Morathi. It does pop Morathi. It doesn't do too much damage. But she is in a duel of the fates with Grom. Grom now getting debuffed. Again, the melee defense debuff from the Witch Elves may be impactful. Looks like we got a Soul Stealer here. Will it hit? Oh! Oh, man. I think just barely it actually didn't hit Grom, perhaps? Yeah, it actually didn't hit Grom. Oh, man, that's painful. And it looks like Ice Power's going to throw in the towel regardless there. I think he might have been able to survive that. It's tough to say, but I mean, Morathi coming in, threatening Grom was a big issue. It looked like the Stone Trolls and the River Troll Hag had just gotten chased off, so 11-20 on those Savage Orc Piggins, the one unit doing pretty well. He did a good job limiting the Chariots, though. Neither the Pump Wagon or the Boar Chariot got too much value. Yeah. Belcon side here. I actually kind of like the pick of the Witch Elves, even though they did get a little bit beat up there. I mean, that's to be expected to a degree. Manticores were fairly well limited, but still able to do just enough with Morathi's support. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't know. The Doom Diver was shut down, too. Could have been potentially an issue, but... Oh, no! Did I just cast that whole thing with the blocker? Oh, no! That was such a good match, too! Oh, okay. Oh... Right? Oh, man. Oh, that's great. Yeah, we'll show the replay real quick. I was just gonna say... Let's go to the replay real quick, and Wurzag, you just go away forever, please. Anyway, okay. Right? I have never ever done that before. Did it take the whole match? Yes, it did. Okay, so this time, once more into the breach. So you see the early pressure from the Doom Diver is going to be pretty solid here. You'll see it going after... Okay, we'll put it on double time for the first part of it. As they kind of go through their skirmish phase, you can see that the pressure on the Feral Manticore so far not too intense, but it does start to get pretty heavy. The Doom Diver, once it lands a couple of shots there. I think there's a Spirit Leech also, we can watch for that, but yeah. Greenskin Skirmish Cav doing a nice job just kind of sitting in support of their own troops, picking away. This is one use of Skirmish Cav. A lot of times people will make the mistake of trying to use the Skirmish Cav like out on the flanks and whatnot, but in reality, you really want to just try and keep them safe as much as possible. Like, why risk them, you know, out where these mobile units, the Dark Elves, can try and get to them, but Repeater Crossbows do form a pretty nice concave here. Again, the Vindictive Glare pops the Manticore. It drops down onto the 8-peak Loons, which the Witch Elves are definitely getting a hold of. The Chariots move in. They're going to do just ludicrous damage to those Fear Spears, but the Manticore also drops in. Here comes the Witch Elves to try and bog down the Chariots, get the Enraged. They will. While the Wolf Riders continue to shoot in. Again, more Sand Spears getting inundated there on the flanks, while the Dark Rider pressure comes through to try and get at the Skirmish Cav. But one unit of Spider Riders is going to be kind of sacrificed in here as the Wolf Riders also move in. Stone Trolls do get hit by the Soul Stealer. I didn't notice that before, but the River Troll Hag manages to avoid it. All the meanwhile, this Feral Manticore, Spirit Leech, Vindictive Glare, the Doom Diver has just about finished it off, so a lot of resources being allocated there, but that's just fine. Meanwhile, in the back, more light cavalry being thrown into this fight. We've got Wa and Murderous Prowess being popped, so on all sides, you can see the stats are just absolutely ridiculous for all the units, all the extra melee attack, weapon strength, charge, all that jazz. The Boar Chariots, though, unfortunately, are not able to escape those Witch Elves and eventually just get absolutely ransacked by the repeater crossbows. Yeah, another Vindictive Glare pops that Manticore, does a ton of damage. Grom also quite potent in melee, even fighting other single entities, so he should do just fine. Stone Trolls getting routed off. They're going to get chased off by the Dark Riders. A lot of the light cavalry has been broken as well. A River Troll Hag in combat with Marathi is not necessarily going to go great for her, but if she can now get the support of Grom, we'll see how that goes there. The Rider Archers. What's up, Lux? Going to charge back. This presence of Dark Riders, though, they've taken almost no damage, and they, you know, have a really nice firing position on these Savage Orc Diggins there. More Witch Elves getting into position as well if they can get the Enrage on the River Troll Hag, prevent her from casting any spells, or looks like they might have to actually be going after Grom. Obviously, the melee defense debuff of that Madness of Cain. Man, that Wand of Caridron just did so much damage to the River Troll Hag. I didn't notice that during the live cast, but yeah, Vindictive Glare also comes in, does a pretty good amount of damage to Marathi. Manticore dropping. Now, Marathi plus the Manticore 2v1 versus Grom is going to be a lot to try and deal with. Now, the Doom Diver is also being shut down. The majority of the Greenskins' forces are routed, but Grom could try and rally back, get to some of these supporting infantry and whatnot. But yeah, balance power heavily in Dark Elves' favor. Ice power going to throw in the towel there, understandably. And there we go. Now you actually got the cast for real this time. Oh, man. That was good. Blockers for the blocked god. Yes. Yes. Okay. Now let me rehost. We'll get everyone back in here. And let's get to the list. Here, we'll get Falcon back in here. Maybe. And looks like next up on the list is Stormrunner, I believe. Or Emperor, that's right. Cool. It's been quite a stream today. Hey, what's up, El Rey? Yeah, Wurzag lost that last battle for sure, after winning decisively on the first. Oh. Happens to the best of us. We're just having fun today, though, right? You're up, Emperor. Come on in. And we'll get map selected. Cool. Let's go with the Plain of Spooters, another one of my favorite maps. This is another video idea I need to do, which is maps. What makes a good map? What makes a good map for multiplayer specifically, right? That's something that I've talked a little bit about recently with patrons about, but okay, let me get this locked in real quick. Sorry, just getting a little distracted. We'll get some music going. Okay, you guys are just getting their stuff locked in. Cool. Thank you all so much for coming out today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Like I said, this is one of my favorite favorite activities in the whole world, even if I am... I mean, how long have I been doing this? Still making these types of mistakes. It's all good. It happens. Happens to the best of us. Falcon's gonna stick Dark Elves. I've given him his Lord choice already. Let's see. I send Emperor his Lord picks, and he's like, ah, yes, I knew you would pick that. Oh, that is how it be sometimes. Okay, so now with the scoreboard, we must move on this. Let's get this. Got ice power over there. We got score of 1 for him, and now, excuse me, in this position, here comes Falcon. The legend himself coming out just for me, which I do appreciate. Good times were had by all. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, Falcon's preparing himself for Slanesh, apparently. Or just, in general, having a good time with the pink banner. It's going to be nice that you'll be able to take whatever lords, right? Could you imagine, like, taking, I don't know, like Rakarth with a full pink army, or... Because you'll be able to take any lord or any legendary lord with any sub-faction color scheme. So whatever you can think of, you know, color scheme-wise is possible with the factions that are in the game. Hey, thanks, Logic. Much appreciated. Oh yeah, this should be a scrap for the ages. So, spoiler alert: the Emperor playing the Empire is taking the Huntsmeme General, and Falcon is also taking a generic lord, or should I say generic lady. One of the best lords in the game, everyone knows. Thanks, Eli. We'll see. I think we'll have time. I'll pencil you in for that. Right now, we've got Stormrunner, Ethereon, and Wicked all still chilling on the list, but I think we should be able to get you in. I was planning on going for quite some time today, so... anyway, Huntsmeme General, we'll start on this side. Yes. The Huntsmeme. My sound screwed up, by the way? Oh, there we go. There's no music. I was like, what? Why does things not sound right? Did the whole stream yesterday with no music, too. Yes, the Huntsmeme. Love this guy. We've got Lore of Light Wizard as well. Some Huntsmen. Very appropriate. Empire Knights, State Troops up front, including some spears, swords, Sigmar's swords, specifically great swords as well. Flagellants. On the flip side, Falcon coming in with Nolosi on foot. Yes. Look at this goon squad right here, hiding behind the ultra-low poly bush. I have issues on this map. But we've got Nolosi here. Got Sorceress. And there's a Canine Assassin also, fully hidden in the back here. There's that, bro. He's just, like, cuddling right now. Like, just very sensually cuddling with this Fear Spear. I mean, it's Dark Elf stuff, right? So let's look away from that. And to the rest of the army, double Manticore, a bunch of Witch Elves once again. So a very similar build to what he took last time. Basically the same, except instead of Marathi, he's got Nolosi on foot. So it makes sense. Right? I need to ask Wicked. I'm really hoping that they don't all get moved to campaign exclusive. I'm really hoping that you just can take the Ethereal Thanes or Henri Le Massif, or, you know, these other faction-specific, sub-faction-specific units, you know, the Damned Paladin. I really hope that those just go to the general roster. And in fact, I was going to make a post about that to CA. I haven't asked. I would assume that what you said is probably correct, but I would hope, what I want is for them to actually be just available. So we'll see. Nilosi. Yes, Nilosi on foot. Hello. Hello. Yes. Nilosi is OP. Yeah, I mean, for certain sub-factions, it's kind of tough. Like, you know, like for the sub-factions that have, like heroes, I think, and lords should be moved. But like, if you're talking like Alariel's trees, or, you know, the crypt horrors and hex race and whatnot for, what's his face? What's his bucket's forces? Why can I not remember his name? Ark in the Black, that's it. Gosh, there's way too many people in this game. Yes. Anyway, Empire Knight's going to be coming out to pressure some of this light cavalry. Huntsmen returning fire on their repeater crossbows, but these Empire Knights are getting a little bit overextended here. They pretty quickly realize that. They're going to try and pull away, but Double Manticore and the Dark Riders should be able to catch up. They'll do some damage. Should be okay in the meantime. The Huntsmen definitely want to try and stay focused. For the Emperor here, like, you know, if I was playing in his position, I would just get all of the Huntsmen over and just mirror wherever these repeater crossbows are going. But right now, focus firing on the Manticore with a couple of them, doing a ton of damage here, while the Empire Knights trying to interrupt, keep the Huntsmen from getting hit in melee by Dark Riders. But Sigmar Sons go pretty far forward as well. Spearmen, again, kind of just a little bit of a disjointed attack, but that's okay. Falcon definitely applying a lot of pressure on just a handful of units right here, and investing a lot of resources in to just try and take things out very quickly. Empire forces are pretty spread out, and they're not super mobile, but 7 Manticore coming in, going after the Huntsman General. Doesn't get much damage on the charge there, but the Royal Altar Cryptites are in a position to try and respond to protect. Also got the Halberds as well. But yeah, these 2 units of Huntsmen getting eaten up very, very quickly. And the Empire Knights also suffering pretty badly in that engagement as well. But Witch Elves getting in there. They're going to mix it up a little bit. We got the Huntsmen also coming forward, trying to get a bead on those repeater crossbows while the Empire Knights try and screen. They're going to get a charge. I don't think their charge order was on the Witch Elves, unfortunately. They could have hammered home a really brutal charge right there, but that's okay. The Royal Altar Cryptites move in. They're going to screen the Huntsman Meme General. He has a lot of good targets to shoot at as well. He should do plenty of damage to the Manticores and whatnot. Looks like we've got another net. I don't know if that was meant to be put on the Manticore. Might have been a slight misclick there to put it on the Dark Riders, but that's okay. Empire Knights get in. They actually do end up doing quite a bit of damage to the Witch Elves. That is a very favorable trade for Empire Knights, but the light cavalry assault of Falcon is pretty significant at this point. It's been able to get through and bunker bust most of the Huntsmen without taking too much damage, and Murderous Prowess now being popped on all the units map wide. It's got the Witch Elves moving in. Oh yeah, 1475 Hex Race with no healing. Exactly, they're so OP. Yeah. Yeah, it's not looking great for the Empire, it must be said. Falcon's just brutal fast assault here. Able to quickly just overload one side, as is, you know, tradition, and get in there, and it looks like the Emperor's gonna go ahead and concede. Yes. Yeah, you know, I'm curious to see how they handle those things, but certainly it will be interesting. Yeah, Gaston had a few issues that game. Oh, this is a nasty wide Dark Elf build in the hands of a really good player. Witch Elves, I think, again, super underrated. I don't see them taking a ton And I think that's a mistake, because they trade super well into stay troops. They can help against heavy cavalry as long as they don't get eaten up on the charge. They can help lock the cavalry down, help other units drag them down. They have a lot of utility, I would say, in this matchup and in many others. So I really like the pick of Witch Elves. That was brutal, yeah. That's what happens when I play Falcon, usually. Neil and Nolosi. There we go. Okay, let's get Stormrunner in here next. And we'll get some more musics. Let's go to Oakenhammer for the next map. Yeah, it happens. Yes. The Huntsmeme General. We all know who the real Emperor is. It's the Huntsmeme. Yeah. Yeah, the key with Witch Elves is for them to not eat the charge of the heavy cavalry. If they're involved in the heavy cavalry fight, like, regardless, as long as they don't eat the charge, they're going to do something. They'll kill the spears, they'll debuff cavalry, possibly get them enraged, debuff their melee defense. Like, if they're up against a faction that supports with hounds, right? Most hound units count as infantry, so Witch Elves will shred them too. I mean, there's just a lot of utility there. I think that's unrealized. Definitely something I need to be taking more, for sure, when I'm taking Dark Elves. They're not that much either. 800's a bit, but it's not too much. Anyway. Yeah, good stuff. Let's see. Stormrunner, let's get... Or Ethereon, if you want to jump in. Oh, no, looks like Storm is in. So, cool. What lord? I think Falcon wants to stay Dark Elves, so let's see. This time you must take Yes. Will require a change of faction, but that's okay. So we'll wait for Stormrunner to get his faction pick locked in, and then I'll assign him a lord. Thank you. Get the dab pit. Demonettes plus Slaanesh will be better than Dark Elves. It's hard to say, I think Slaanesh is going to be really good, I think, in the hands of a skilled player. But, yeah. What would be cool is if Marathi... If there was, maybe a little more crossover between... Like, I think, again, remains to be seen, but based on what we saw with the trailer, some other people thought the same thing as well, which is the Cultist for Slaanesh might actually be an elf. Be pretty cool. Would make sense. It seems like, the Cultist for Khorne is a Marauder, right? The Cultist for Nurgle is just a sick guy. Just a human that has been clearly affected. The Tzeentch dude, it looks, I mean, it's not necessarily strictly Cathayan, but it looks sort of Cathayan inspired, right? With the very strange mask and everything. Given Cathay's kind of connection with Tzeentch in the lore that they've released, it makes sense that he's sort of Cathay adjacent, right? Sort of Cathay inspired. And okay, let me get this. So like it would make sense for, since Slaanesh is sort of most associated with elves. Hey, coming in here with the fiver. Emperor almost obligatory. Thank you for continuing your great work. Beyond impressed. Sorry I couldn't use Gaston glory. Be better next time. Hey, I mean you considering you fought one of the greatest players of all time, like legitimately one of the best of all time. There's no shame in that. So thank you so much. Right, Marathi becomes a Medusa Demonette princess thing. Yeah, so I'm really excited for Slaanesh, honestly. Like, more than I thought I would be. And the presentation, I'm also very happy. It's amazing, looks incredible, but it's also YouTube appropriate, so I won't get instant demonetized. Anyway, let me send Stormrunner his pick here. Shame is not taking quad pump wagon. Oh, I know, right? Slaanesh is gonna be so fast, man. I'm actually kind of excited to see like Slaanesh versus like Wood Elves. I think Slaanesh are gonna hard counter Wood Elves because the speed and chariots are already like low key, secretly really good against Wood Elves. The Slaanesh chariots look ridiculous and very scary. Again, speed kills Wood Elves too, so I think... Hey, another one. Whoa, here we go. Tamanten with the 50 through Streamlabs. Man, much appreciated. Let me go back and pull your message real quick. Here... Man, so generous. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. I just want to grab your message real quick since it flashed off the screen before I had a chance to read it. Here we go. Can't watch right now, but happy birthday, Dov. Brought the best decks and little extra for the special occasion. Wishing you a great day and an amazing year to come. May the Dark Prince's blessing be upon you. Looking forward to watching the stream back. Thank you so much, Tamanten. Watching the stream back, you know, whenever you're hearing my voice, at whatever time. Thank you so much, man. Always super generous. Yeah, you guys are the best. I must say, I have the best fans. I might be biased, but... Hey, see you later, Logic. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate you also, man. For those of you guys who don't know Logic, if you guys are just casual fans of this channel and you like multiplayer, definitely go check out Logic's YouTube channel. In fact, Wicked, if you want to drop a link to his channel in the chat, I would appreciate that. Logic is a swell dude. Definitely a great asset to the community. So thanks, man. Much appreciated. Looks like we've got another battle for the ages ready. And who's it going to be? Oh, it's Tyrion. That's right. I mean, I know because I assigned him, but Tyrion plus a Metal Mage. Pretty decent. We've also got a couple of Tyrannok chariots for Stormrunner. Awesome. Reaver archers, some Reavers, and Silver Helms. Actually, no, just Silver Helms with shields. Some Rangers, some White Lions. On the flip side, this time we've got Mick Krakenface. That's right, the Kraken Lord. The duelist of the sea for the Dark Elves. Lokir Fellheart coming in with Sorceress Laura Beast. We've got some Fierce Spears. We've got some Witch Elves. 4 Repeater Crossbows. Dark Riders. We've got Knight Assassin. I love Knight Assassins. They're super, super good. Dov's Day of Debauchery. Yes. Hey, thank you, Wicked. I appreciate that. Yeah, Logic is an awesome guy. So, yeah, they do look amazing. The Keeper of Secrets, Inkari, the Seekers, the Seeker Chariots. I mean everything. Honest. The Demonettes, the Slaneshi Marauders, all of it looks really good. So, yeah. But gonna be fun to play. I can't wait to see the campaign mechanics too. Nurgle's campaign mechanics I didn't really talk about on the channel, but they do look like a lot of fun. I might do a video once we get Slanesh's mechanics. I might do a video talking about both of them at once. Anyway, these guys are gonna get started here. And Falcon once again coming with the heavy left overload. Looks like he's actually going to be transitioning his crossbows over to the center, while the Dark Riders, melee Dark Riders, kind of remain over on the left flank. K-Knight Assassin coming forward, going to do a little bit of skirmishing early on. Lokir Fellheart just going straight up the pipe, ready to duel with some of these Rangers. Oof. Brutal splash attack immediately. He's going to eat a few attacks in return, but now the Witch Elves sort of come in as a second wave. They're able to get mostly side and rear attacks because of the way that the Rangers played out. But oh man, Sunfang coming in. This is going to be really good value. Wow! Oh man, just roast full blast a unit of Witch Elves there. The Repeater Crossbows definitely doing some damage to those White Lions, though, and it looks like the Manticore is going to come into the back line, try and get after those Tyrnok chariots. The Silver Helms come in. They're going to wall up those Dark Riders there. More Dark Riders inbound. The Chariots actually kind of just stick around to help kind of mass block in here, and they're not taking too much damage right now, so that's just fine. Looks like a Flock of Doom there. I'm surprised we haven't seen a final transmutation, but I think Stormrunner's just kind of keeping it in his back pocket for the time being, waiting for all the single entities to form up in a nice pocket for him, which it looks like they are just about going to do. No, there's the final transmutation. Okay, not even waiting for Lokir to get in, just using it on... I mean, he's got the two Manticores, he's got all this cavalry, he's got the K-Knight Assassin in there, so that is a pretty good cast of final transmutation. That is going to be just absolutely brutal. Lokir does run into it, so he is going to take some damage, but some of the other units are able to run out, so they're not going to take too much. Tyrion moving in. He should be able to duel pretty well with Lokir. Falcon Heart. Hey, thanks, Taminten. Low-key Fellheart. Yeah. Lowcon Fellheart. What? Anyway, Falcon Lowheart. Yes. Ooh, nice little double envelopment there by the Silver Helms. It does look like the Metal Sorcerer got absolutely mauled by Manticores, which is to be expected. More Manticores being summoned here, so Falcon definitely going with the most cost-effective monster in the game, all in. This Terror Shock Center means that a lot of these cavalry units have been broken, and all of a sudden Tyrion is isolated once again from his support units. I mean, he is very expensive, and this blob, I mean, Lokir just being much cheaper is able to take a better supporting blob, so once again, Falcon, man, less than 3 minutes to victory that time, I think. That is quite impressive, all things considered. Looks like one more big final transmutation. Nope. Nope, it's actually the Web of Shadows from the K-Knight Assassin, and that will probably trigger army losses. Man. McCracken face. Ah, yes. Yes, yes. Cool. Sweet. Man, Falcon on an absolute tear with the Dark Elves right now. This Witch Elf build. I might have to just straight up steal this build. You probably will run into this on ladder if you play in the next couple days, but... Luigi Halpert. That's great, Zinsky. Dark Elves versus High Elves. The High Elves should just forget about bringing infantry. I mean, I feel like that's a lot of matchups at Therion, to be honest. Maybe like a super strong presence of archers and sea guards, so you have like literally 12 ranged units. You just rain arrows. Maybe that would work, but anyway. Okay, Ethereon, your turn now. Good luck. And I will go to MP Hailrot Ridge. Probably my #1 map right now. And while these guys are getting their army picks locked in, I am going to take a real quick bio break, and I'll be right back. I am returned. So... yes. Let me also get Ethereon here. Cool. Franz does an insane amount of damage, but you can lose him super easy. Griffin Lords in general don't have much HP at all, and Franz, I mean, I think he has even slightly less than Lewin base, maybe? I have to look again, but I haven't even been keeping score either. We're like way ahead now. Falcon's up to like 3, I think? Maybe 4? Charles. Yeah, Elven Infantry is in a weird place. In a strange place. Dark Elves is a faction that, you know, I actually haven't... Even though they're kind of related to Slaanesh, I've thought a little bit about them in relation to, I guess, specifically Slaanesh in terms of matchups, but... Thinking through now, I actually think Dark Elves have tools to deal with all the demon factions. Like, I think Slaanesh maybe has potential to be tough. Khorne also, just because Khorne does so much damage. Like, Dark Elves being really squishy, arguably the squishiest elves in general. That could be tough, you know, just getting raffle stomped by Khorne, but historically Dark Elves have had pretty decent kite, and decent armor-piercing long-range kite at that. So maybe the kite's playstyle works really well against Khorne. It works decently well against Warriors of Chaos, but Overcast Transformational Kadon should be a Griffin. That'd be cool. I'd like that. Yeah, well, you say that. Rangers for High Elves, they're too expensive. Like, Rangers need to be 550, I think, honestly, and then they would actually be pretty decent. Right now, at 600, like, they're good. They'll trade well into pretty much any low-tier infantry except maybe Dwarf Warriors. But they're just squishy enough that at 600, it's, like, bad to lose them to something. Yeah, I really think they should be like 575 or 550. And I think they'd be pretty good, but it was nice to get them, but I find myself using them a lot less than I thought I would when they were initially released, just because they still die badly to cavalry, chariots, monsters, a lot of stuff. Even in the infantry sort of meta, they still didn't trade well into a lot of those things. They are good anti-infantry DPS, but they're not, like, at 600, they're in a little bit of an awkward position. So I just would like them to be a little bit more cost-effective, and then I think they'd be a really fantastic unit. But as it is right now, 600, I think it's just too much to pay for them. Hey, what's up, Matthew Coffin? Honestly, from an infantry perspective, White Lions are probably my favorite High Elf infantry right now. It's weird because in the past I really haven't liked White Lions at all, but with some of the changes they made to infantry in the past, sort of where things are at right now, I think White Lions are pretty solid. They've got great versatility, the missile resistance. While they don't have a missile block chance, the missile resistance does help them a little bit against incidental fire. They've got decent mass in comparison to a lot of other Elven infantry, which is something that they definitely have going for them. How to use giants. Take giants when you're not going to get shot. So, like, against vampire counts, giants can be pretty solid. Warriors of Chaos, sometimes giants can be pretty solid. Basically, any faction that you think it's very unlikely they're going to shoot you a lot, giants can be pretty good there. But anyway, this time we got Malekith on the Lizard Limo. Oh no, it's Rakarth. That's right. I was going to say, I don't think I assigned Malekith. Nope, it's Rakarth. The Herald of the Cavalry Bug brought about all of those terrible changes. Pretty awesome lord in and of himself, but let's see what he's got to back him up. Some more Witch Elves, Fear Spears, tons of cavalry, Dark Riders with both spears and repeater crossbows, a couple of Manticores, more Lore of Beasts. Probably the most fitting to take Lore of Beasts with Rakarth and just summon extra Manticores. For the Warriors of Chaos side, we've got Hell Cannon, double Hell Cannon even, Sigvald the Magnificent, Mirror Guard, some Marauders, some Chaos Warriors with great weapons, Aspiring Champs. Oh man, true hero. Taking some Aspiring Champs. Does he have a caster? Oh, he does. Lore of Shadows right here. Okay. I was going to say, if he took Aspiring Champs and no caster, that would be a true champ in our hearts. Yes, indeed. Here we go. K-Knight Assassin going to be leading this Vanguard attack. Man, K-Knight Assassins are so good. Just in general. They might be the best assassin-type character in the game. It's hard to say. I'd have to actually stop and think about that a little bit, but I think they might be. I mean, if you count the Skink Chief as an assassin type, which some people would, some people probably wouldn't. I guess he has access to a lot of monster mounts. Like the Skaven Assassin's also very good, but there's a little tiny bit less flexibility, arguably better ability set. But that is arguable. I mean, Web of Shadows is really good, and they both have an assassination debuff. I mean, the Gobbo Big Boss, decent, again, has decent mount options, but I think the Skaven Assassin's better. I don't know, what do you guys think? Who's the best assassin type hero? And Falcon getting really aggressive here, going after those Hell Cannons. One of the Manticores actually gets enraged here by the Javelins, goes straight into these Chaos Warriors, right into the Mirror Guard. Sigvald also in position here to kind of countercharge back in. So he's going to get some good damage in there. We've got Flock of Doom and the Web of Shadows also. Web of Shadows is going to come in and deal quite a bit of damage. Most of the cavalry is able to squeak away, but how long will these Hell Cannons be able to stay online? That is the question. This one's doing just fine. The other one getting inundated by light cavalry, but they're mostly fine for the time being. Rakarth gets in there. He's going to take some shots. Rakarth doesn't have Strider on his chariot or Woodsman, so you can see he's kind of bumping around in between the trees, just having a hard time really getting set. The Witch Elves also taking nasty damage from that Hell Cannon, getting hung up on one single Marauder. That was pretty brutal, but they are now going to get in combat. We've got a Pit of Shades also in the back line, going after some of these Dark Riders with the Peter crossbows. Should do some okay damage at the very least, keep them locked in place so they can perhaps get caught. But the other Manticore coming down in an enraged state. So losing both those Manticores early on would be an issue, but the one is still fighting over here, does get a terror out. Suddenly things turn around for Sigvald. While he initially had a pretty good situation here with these Mirror Guard kind of holding out. The Mirror Guard are still fighting, but Manticore summon plus another Manticore coming in could end up routing off the Mirror Guard. Their melee defense being debuffed means they are taking damage there. Not doing a ton to the Witch Elves in return either, but the Marauder Horsemen doing a good job kind of counteracting the mobility of Falcon here. Horse Masters were leading these Dark Riders on a goose chase. The Horse Masters getting into combat against the Repeater Crossbows there. If the Repeater Crossbows were to countercharge back in, especially with that Murderous Prowess active, they could probably do okay. But, yeah. Well, Exalted Heroes are more of a melee character rather than an assassin type. Like, they're more of like a captain archetype, right? Witch Hunter is another one I guess you could include in that class, who has probably the best assassination debuff in my opinion, because it has a missile resistance component, and an armor component, and a melee defense component. It doesn't have a melee attack component, but in terms of defensive debuffs, I mean, I guess Elsif is an assassination debuff that you never see, because who takes the Red Duke, even though he's actually secretly really good still. I wouldn't consider him necessarily an assassin, though. He's also a legendary lord, not, you know, a generic hero. So, but it is worth mentioning those character-specific debuffs. I mean, other lords have them, right? Like a Lord of Dragons from Imric, or who's next from Grimgor. But let's see here. Warriors of Chaos, Sorcerer, going to take some damage from that Manticore. Manticore keeps pushing him away from Sigvald. Sigvald now getting a boost from Rakarth. That's okay. Hell Cannons have been shut down. And it looks like the Dark Elves are cleaning up a little bit of warriors here. The Warriors of Chaos, though, Aetherion with some Marauder Horsemen, Horse Masters, these guys need to disengage, try and come back and start to clean up some of the Dark Elves' weakened troops. We'll see. Sigvald's going to be tough to take down. Falcon's got to get rid of all the support troops first, which is why he's doing his best to try and chase these routing units. The Aspiring Champions being mixed into this blob of weakened Marauders is nice, because they can kind of help the mass situation a little bit there. Aspiring Champions do have pretty good mass, even though there's not very many of them. Yeah, here we go. More Marauder Horsemen, Horse Masters. They thought about charging in, but instead they're going to pull away from the Manticore. If they get even a couple of Javelins, that Manticore probably is going to want to rout there, so that's okay. Sigvald reunifying with the champs and with his Marauders here. It's going to be awesome to see Sigvald alongside the Slaaneshi Marauders, I must say. You know, in whatever capacity he makes it into that roster, I'm sure he will be in some form or another. Maybe he'll be available to both rosters. That would be kind of unique, right? kind of like in Civ 6, you have Eleanor of Aquitaine, who's available for both England and France, right? Or Kublai Khan. I actually just started a Kublai Khan China playthrough on my own time. And again, Kublai is available for both China and Mongolia. So I think it'd be cool if in custom and multiplayer, Sigvald was available for both Slaanesh and Warriors of Chaos. It would make him kind of unique in that way. Would end up in multiplayer that you might see Sigvald versus Sigvald, even though it's not necessarily mirror factions. But anyway, the champs holding out here, just making their final stand against the Fear Spears. The Fear Spears really aren't going to be able to touch them much, but Sigvald gets into a dangerous position where he's getting whittled away by all these ranged attacks. Even Rakarth himself has his, crossbow up there. So let's see, Heroic Killing Blow and Slippery activated for Prince Sigvald. He's quite fast. He's going to try and get through. Ooh, gets a nasty hit there on the Sorceress. He's up to 780 weapon strength. Manticore is going to charge in, but if the Manticore gets hit, yeah, that's the end. Manticore just gets straight up killed. Rakarth moving in. Yeah, let's see. Sigvald getting bumped around the trees. Hasn't gotten an attack back on Rakarth. Standard Eye is now active, even though Heroic Killing Blow has worn off. Rakarth going to go over, try and finish those Chaos Warriors with Krapins. I mean, we'll see. It's really, really close right now. Oh, no! Oh, no! There's a pocket Manticore summon coming from the Tattered Sorceress. Low on HP, but she can still summon a full health Manticore, and look at what that does to the balance of power, man. That is just absolutely brutal. And now Rakarth with he didn't even take any of his buffs. They would have been nice to throw on the Manticore right now to get that extra charge bonus and whatnot, but now Sigvald is going to be facing multiple single XTs. Manticore gets a little bit of an awkward charge through the trees there. Rakarth also coming in and doing a little bit of bumper car actions. As Sigvald starts to take significant damage, that should tip things. Man, very, very well played by Falcon. It's super close game, but just keeping that Manticore summon in his back pocket, being very patient with that second summon, not blowing it too early. I mean, I am definitely guilty of blowing my load too early, that's for sure. Yeah, that's one thing I think. Yeah, great job, honestly. I don't have much else to say about that. That was a clutch late game Manticore summon. Okay. Will do, Wicked. Will do. Yeah, Skaven Assassin is cheap. He's cheaper than the K-Knight Assassin, which is one thing he has going for him. I'm tempted to say he's the best just because he is so cheap. And the concealment bombs are awesome too. Rival High Talisman's incredible. He has Skaven Brew, which is another really underrated buff. Yeah. Right? GG indeed. That was a really good game. I mean, Etherion's build was really solid and actually almost worked. But Falcon, just with the late game Manticore summon there, super clutch. Knight Assassin got some great value as well. Rakarth doesn't do a ton, but he's kind of just here. On the Chariot with nothing. He doesn't cost a lot either. I'd have to look at that, but Dark Riders, they kind of do their thing. Mostly pretty well limited, but one gets good value. Manticore, same thing. On Etherion's side, Aspiring Champs with 646 value. I love that. I love Aspiring Champs. And secretly, they're actually pretty good in certain niche situations. Horsemasters, Horsemen, getting some good value. The Hell Cannons do a pretty good job as well. Sigvald, not quite enough, but decent showing. Yeah, great job. That was a fun one, for sure. Cool. Alright, Wicked, you'll jump in next as soon as Therion backs out. We'll get you in here, and then I think that might be it for the day. If Eli wants to go, he can also go. I've got him on the list here, and then... Oh, man! We'll see. We may end up keeping it going, but... Mm-hmm. Let's see. Ah, okay. Someone actually posted the Cultist of Nergal stat card. I don't know where Creative Assembly showed this, but Cultist of Nergal has regeneration, has poison attacks. It says it has poison. He has poison attacks, but he doesn't actually have poison attacks. It looks like instead armor sundering. I don't know his abilities and items. I would need to look. I guess Creative Assembly must have released something with this. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look and see where that stat card was posted. See if I can find some more information. But oh yeah, aspiring champs. Like any unit that's squishy and has physical resistance and doesn't have enough melee attack to hit aspiring champs, they can actually do very well against. So it's a fun one. Definitely an odd interaction, an odd unit, but like against like Skaven, for example, Death Runners will absolutely murder them, but like they'll do okay. They'll do some damage in return, and it might actually be a cost-effective engagement for them. But in general, most Skaven infantry can't touch them. Um, yeah, like Plague Monks, I think they'll beat pretty handily, if I remember right. Maybe not actually. I'd have to check that again. But yeah, like Flagellants, like Battle Pilgrims, stuff like that. Stuff that doesn't have high enough stats to make contact consistently. Yeah, well, yeah, the entire Nurgle roster, and I have that up right here. I just didn't see the stat card for the Cultist. Must have been showcased somewhere else, because on the Nurgle roster reveal, they just have the art. They don't actually have any of the unit stat cards. So I don't know. Iron Thunder posted in Curran's Discord, and I don't know. I'd have to look and see where Creative Assembly published that, but anyway. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, yeah, let me get the stuff locked in. Da da da. Hmm. Okay, cool. Yes. Okay, so we'll do that. Let's go to this map here. Da, da, da. Okay. Yeah, let's do Dr. Az. That's a good map. Nice balanced map. Cool. It's on the Discord. Oh, okay. That explains it. I check the Total War Discord reasonably frequently, but not super frequently, so I'd have to look here. Okay, let's see here. Yes. Yes. Anyway, I'm sure they'll be showing off the stats of all the Nurgle stuff soon. So, yeah. Shouldn't be too much to worry about, but I want to see some gameplay mostly, and I want to play some gameplay. Oh, yes. Okay. Looking at some other things here. Excellent. Yeah, we'll do one more after this. We'll get Eli in and see if he wants to. Eli, if you're still around, I believe he's on the. Just shoot him a message real quick. May just call it, honestly. We've been going for, by the time this battle's over, we will have been going for about 2 hours, so I think it's a pretty good amount of time. I was maybe going to go 3 or 4 hours, but honestly, I'm thinking now, like, maybe I want to just go hang out and play some games with people in Discord or something, so we'll see. We shall see. Cool. Had to send a text real quick. Refresh this. Like they're just about ready. Excuse me. Oh man, why is it that Med 2 has such good music? I mean, clearly the people who made the music are amazing, but yes. Let's get it going. Thank y'all so much again for coming out. Like I said, this is my favorite. You guys are my favorite. I don't know where I would be without my channel, honestly. So much to look forward to. Much good stuff coming soon. Honestly feels like this is like the start of the wild time in general. Oh man, let's see who we got here. This is Malekith. Malekith on a dragon. I saw a dragon with 2 manticores. So this time all the heroes got combined into one giant Malekith on a dragon. We've also got some more Dark Riders, repeater crossbows over on the far side. Fear Spears, Witch Elves, again, same thing what we've seen from Falcon pretty much this entire time. Now, for Wicked here, this massive line of Bretons. He's got, that's right, the Prophetess on foot. And this is going to be Lore of Heavens, another 5er from Raw Cauliflower. Nurgle is death, but also life. Regardless, every year you're closer to him. Happy birthday. Thanks for that uplifting and inspiring message, Raw Cauliflower. Thanks for the 5er and for all your generous support. You guys are the best. Look at Henri, though, man. Henri is a big boy. Gotrek as well. Got some mounted yeomen. Rail Guardians. Yeoman Archers. I've got some Holy Wardens of La Maison Tal. Got Beast Slayer's Bastone. So, interesting. Lots of mobs. Oh, that Prophetess is probably gonna have a pretty bad time. The lads! It's the lads! It's true. It is the lads. The classic. With the Beast Slayers, too, and a unit of Grail Guardians. Look at this absolute brick of units. This is gonna be a juicy breath target. Gotrek. I thought Gotrek's eye patch was actually, like, clipping through his face. That was weird. Anyway. You right? The lads! Yes, this is the lads right here. And Henri is, like, almost as tall as a Grail Guardian. That is so ridiculous, dude. What a large human being. Like, look at this guy. Look at this Beast Slayer of Bastone next to Henri. Oh, he's a big boy. Yeah, right? Foot Prophetess equals win no matter what. It's true. That is an accurate fact. 100% accurate fact. Let's see. Let's see what they can do. Going up on a Tuesday. Yeah, I don't know if there were ever Warriors of Chaos included, to be honest. Raw Cauliflower Front, like, I don't know if it was ever intended for them to have Warriors of Chaos at the beginning. I think Khorne, because they had to make the Khorne Knight model for the Skull Crushers, like, I think that's why they made Warriors of Chaos of Khorne for the start, because they had to make the unique model. Like, Tzeentch, they probably should have made a unique model for the Doom Knights and for the Knights of Tzeentch, and then just use that for a Warriors of Tzeentch as well. But, like, Nurgle has no Warriors units that they needed to make, right? Everything is crewed by demons, you've got the Forsaken, and we are getting a new unique spawn, which is something, I guess, but... Henri the Ever-Chosen. Yes, indeed. Yeah, but I think we'll see some more Warriors units in the future. For Nurgle, for Tzeentch, for Slaanesh. Even for Khorne, like, we may see some Chosen or some other things coming on later down the line. I would have, like, the Nurgle Warrior units from Tabletop look incredible, so recolors would have been okay. Functionally, too, like, I'm sure modders will put in pretty quickly Warriors of Nurgle and whatnot, but we'll see. I mean, it won't be hard for modders to create some of those new missing stuff until they get added, so from a campaign perspective, you'll have them, but in multiplayer, you won't, which certainly feels bad, and that would have been nice. I agree, but yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know. I mean, maybe not for Nurgle. Maybe it was intended for Tzeentch to actually have some Warriors units to pad things out a little bit, but I would have to actually count out how much units. Anyway, in terms of the battle here, Bretonnia coming forward, actually getting some pretty good skirmishing early on with those Yeoman Archers. They're kind of able to pick away at some of the Dark Elves light cavalry, but it looks like some Chain Lightning going to be going down here. One of the most useless Vortex spells in the game, but there's something from the Prophetess there as she fights her way forward. She's going to get surrounded by Witch Elves probably pretty quickly here, but a nice Wind Blast does a good amount of damage to said Witch Elves. Grail Guardians definitely need to get in here and support this engagement also, but one mounted Yeoman, oh no! Oh no, the Yeoman's going to eat the Soul Stealer, and it ends up not actually hitting. It hits one of the Grail Guardians, but not the other one. So that's actually like an MLG play right there. Just use the Soul Stealer on the Yeoman. Oh no, but Malekith and both the Manticores just immediately drop onto the Prophetess. She's going to pop Arcane Conduit, not that that will help her at all in melee. She also gets very briefly enraged, but immediately pops out of it. But yeah, the Grail Guardian's not in a position to try and counteract this, so the Prophetess immediately going to get killed. It's to be expected to a degree, to be honest, but nice case of Malice here as well. The Holy Wardens of La Maisontal are cleaning up, but the Grell Guardians, the issue they're going to face here is the repeater crossbows, so these yeomen can get set and fire. They might be able to take out some of the repeater crossbows, but the character situation, man, Gotrek, I don't know what happened to Gotrek. He has evidently either been killed already or just got completely out of position, or I'm not sure. But it looks like, man, the Prophetess and Henri getting just soloed individually and absolutely 100% crumped. Yeah, probably would have been good to know what happened to Gotrek, but maybe he just got killed by Witch Elves, I'm not really sure. Hung up somewhere. Hung out to dry. Man, you remember when Gotrek used to have literally the same icon as the peasant mobs? That was a good time. Anyway, that's going to be a quick victory for Velcon. Oh, man. What a game. Thanks so much, guys. You are the best. Been good. It's been real. I think Eli's Gotrek got sniped. Yeah, I must have missed that part completely. Yes, the Prophetess is always a glorious time. GG's indeed. Thank you guys. You're the absolute best, man. It's been fun. All of you guys watching this here live, all of you guys watching after the fact, my patrons, my members, general fans, community members, all of the above. Thank you guys all so much. You make this such an amazing experience for me every day. So I appreciate you all. Thank you. I am going to go now and enjoy the rest of my birthday, but yeah, I had a great time. Glad you guys had a blast. So 69 kills. Thank you all so much, guys. That's it for me for today. If you're not subscribed, why are you not subscribed? Subscribe right now. Do it. Do it. Do it. Thank